Hello, my baby birds. I hope you're having a good day. It is Tuesday, so I don't know what that means for you, but I hope it's a good fucking Tuesday. um, Not that it really matters, but I haven't been here for a while. I was packing up the rest of my apartment, and I officially turned in my key today, and so I'm making some time for myself. So I'm here with you. Probably one of my most favorite things to do is actually sit here and talk to you guys. Whoever's listening, whoever decides to sit through this with me. Lately, I have been, I want to say soul searching, but that sounds so cliche and so dorky, but literally like soul searching. Like, I'm traveling into past lives. I'm learning history about myself. I'm learning what I went through, what people have done to me, what I've done to people. Like, I'm seeing the past more clearly than I've ever seen it before. And this is the crazy part, is I'm 31 years old, and I've always wanted to tap into this side of me that I knew I could do. I just didn't know how. And I realized one of the things that was holding me back was being afraid. Was literally being afraid. And then finally, I just decided I'm not going to see anything I'm not supposed to. You know what I mean? It's me. It's my own life. I need to see what's happened so that I can heal and I can help other people heal now. You know? So. It's hard to explain this all, but I want to take you down my journey of where I came from. And it's gonna be really hard because it's so fucking crazy. Like, I don't have anything else. It's just fucking crazy. So here we go. So I was born. This is the life that I remember. This is the first one that I'm conscious. I don't know if there's another one. It's the first one I can feel that I am aware of, and there's a reason for that. I'm discovering there's a reason that this is the first life that I'm remembering. I'm assuming before this life, I was the wind. I was the water. Like, I was part of the elements. I wasn't an elemental, because those are definitely different kind of spirits, but I was part of nature. I was literally part of nature. Like, I can just feel myself being water or being a plant. I could be a plant. I'm not gonna lie, I have so many plants around my house. I mean, you see my tree behind me. I have so many plants right now. I was probably a plant, and I was just feeling all the amazing things of nature. Anyways, so the very first life that I'm aware and I'm conscious, it is between, and I've done my research after I've discovered like what time I was feeling. I started doing my history, okay? So let me just tell you who I was, and then I'll tell you the time, okay? So I was a woman who was born into a family of wealth, and we became wealthy because my great-grandfather had built up our family name. I don't know what our family name was, but he built it up, and by the time I was born, I didn't have to do anything. I was just born into wealth. And I was going through life. I was already a psychic. And I've understood that the reason I was a psychic back then was because I made myself aware, okay? When we are born, before we're born, we basically write a path for ourselves. And in that path, we can say what we want. And I didn't say I want to be psychic. No, what I said was, teach me the right way. I want to be with you. Teach me the right way. So I was already psychic when I was back then. I don't know if this is my first life. Maybe I went through something else before that made me go like, oh wait, hold on. That's not okay. I don't like that. Maybe you know what I mean? But this is the first life that I'm conscious, okay? I'm going to say conscious because just like a baby, I woke up. I was aware of something above. I was aware of the eternal, okay? Like, that's The only way I can explain it is I was aware, okay? So, lost fucking track because I was aware. When I came into this life, where I came from, they didn't have the word psychic, okay? We didn't understand, not that we didn't understand what it was to be psychic, but we called it lucky. Being lucky, okay? You're just connected to luck. Basically is like how you can explain it. You're just lucky, okay? So when I was little, I remember being 3 years old and I'm in a situation where adults were conversating and making decisions, and this guy had 2 options and this guy had to make a decision, okay? For this guy had 2 options for this guy, and he needed to decide what he was doing. Well, this guy was my father, okay? My father looked down at me, and I looked up and I said, you should do that one. And he just kind of went with it. He just listened to me. I don't know why, okay? But he just listened to me. And then from then on, my entire life, everybody listened to me because I was just connected. It was like I was always living in a fantasy life. Like I was always living in a fairy tale because people just listened to me and I just got what I wanted. And it wasn't like because I was a brat or because I was spoiled. No, it's because I knew. I fucking knew. Do you understand? Like, I made adult decisions at 3 years old because somebody else told me. Okay. So, this goes on my whole life. And we're in a time when and I don't want to use this word. Okay, then I won't use that word. It was a very freeing time. We were allowed to make decisions for ourselves, and nobody could really tell us what to do. So in this time, the woman that was my mother was very aware that I was connected to something else. So she did not intentionally ever go against what I said because she thought that she would receive bad luck. Basically, like something, bad luck or evil would come upon her if she went against me, basically. Okay, so I hate to put it that way, but that's how they thought. So this woman that was my mother always protected me and always made sure I was given the best. I was treated like royalty, okay? I was treated like a fucking princess. So I have to tell you what time this was because now I have to give you more details. Anyways, this was in China between 405 and 500 BCE, which is before current events. I don't care. I'm not religious. I won't say BC. It is before current events, okay? When that whole thing was, and I'm saying like that's almost 100 years of worth, it's because I knew when my great-grandfather started running it, what happened. I understand what happened before I was born. So this is my lineage. This is my history. So my mom always protected me at this time. And when it was time for me to marry, I was allowed to make my own decision on who I wanted to marry. Because in this time, in this dynasty, it was the Tang dynasty. In this dynasty, I think it was when they had the first empress. And it was also when a commoner or a peasant, however you want to put it, a commoner was allowed and given the ability to move up in ranks. Okay, so you could go from being a peasant or a commoner to a nobleman. You could be somebody important. My great-grandfather did that. My great-grandfather. So it was my mom's grandfather. Okay. And in this time, there were 2 ways to pay taxes. Well, there was more than 2 ways, but there were 2 ways to be able to give taxes to the emperor. One was growing crops and giving him part of the crops, or growing silk and giving them part of your silk. Even though the king had the emperor or empress at the time, I don't know who was in charge when I was alive, but I know when this happened. So when it was time to start doing all of those things, when it was my turn to marry, to begin learning, I wasn't going to learn. It was going to be my husband who was going to take over, of course, because I was a woman. I didn't, even though I was allowed to be liberated and I was allowed to do my own thing, I still had to have a husband, okay? So this husband that I had to marry, I was allowed to pick. But I didn't pick him because I loved him. I literally didn't give a fuck about him. This is the time because I was only marrying for benefits, basically. You know what I mean? And it's not even friends with benefits. It's my benefit and my family's benefit and my children, my future children that I'm going to have their benefit. So when I picked, I'm sorry, I just made some more recollection. When I picked my husband, I didn't really care for him, but I was told by luck, by the above, that it was time, that when I picked my husband, this man would be a good fit for me. So I just picked him. I just told him that's the one. Well, he didn't really like me because in this time it was like, bitch, why do you get to pick me? I'm the man. I should be able to decide who my wife is, or my family gets to decide. No, my family got to decide, and he was a commoner, or I don't want to say commoner, but he was still classed beneath us, okay? And we were considered noblemen. My grandfather had built our family and our company up, the family company up, to the point where we were no longer commoners. We had moved up the ranks to a nobleman. I don't know if nobleman is the right word for the Chinese dynasties, but I feel like that might be the right one, okay? So if somebody hears this and they know better, please tell me. So when I picked my husband, he was pretty upset. But, you know, my mother had told him to, you don't touch her, you're nice to her, you only do things unless she says so. Well, of course, I'm a woman. He's upset because he thinks I'm the fucking man. Why does this woman get to decide anything about me and what happens? So he attempted to harm me, and I'm just going to put it like that. I got visuals and I'm not very happy about it, but I understand what happened. So this husband of mine tried to hurt me, and I got away and ran to my mother because, of course, we all lived together in the same fucking house. It was like a castle. I go running to my mother, and she confronts him, and of course he's drunk. He's under the influence of alcohol. But because he tried to harm me, my mother at the time had told the servants in the house to teach him a lesson, okay? They harmed this human being, okay, because he had done what he did to me. After that, and before this time, we had already had 2 other children, but it was on my terms, okay? After this the whole thing happened, we no longer communicated. He was only working for the family, basically, and we were just married because we were assigned to each other, basically, is what we did. Well, this individual would go and sleep around with other women, and I was just I'm not even gonna lie, I have, like, when I when I see myself, it's like fairy vibes, okay? I'm straight up like in the clouds. I don't have a fucking care in the world, because I'm like, life is just beautiful. Look at this life that you have given me, because I know it's the universe, it's the eternal. It's the celestials above us that I'm just like, wow, look what you gave us. And I'm so stuck in heaven that being human isn't even fucking a phase for me. But I have 2 children. I'm still a loving woman. I'm still a loving mom. Not woman. I'm going to say I'm a loving mom. Because I wasn't a loving woman. Because I only saw humans as vessels. Empty vessels. That's what it was. I saw them as empty vessels. They weren't people to me, okay? I was so divinely connected that you weren't even a person to me. It was so hard for me to remember names besides my own children, because they were given to me by the gods. Remembering a name was like out of my fucking picture, dude. I didn't even know who you were. I had so many people coming to me. I was so divinely connected. I used to heal people. I used to heal people. I remember there was somebody who was like, I'm sick. I'm so sick. I don't know what's happening. And they called me to his home. And this man was laying on his bed. And I put my hands. I don't know what the fuck I did. I did something. And I put my hands on his kidneys. And he was healed. Like, I was so divinely connected that life wasn't even a fucking thing for me. Life, it didn't even faze me, okay? Because I knew where I came from the second I got here. But because I was so divinely connected, I did not see people. And that was a problem because I didn't grow human connection. I didn't grow spiritual connection to people. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't learn how to love them. So when I let me restart. There was a day when I was in the market with my children. I don't know where the fuck, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know where the fuck my husband was. I'm sure he was working, but I was out living my best life. And I was taking my children to the market. We were just walking around. I'm seeing fucking butterflies, and oh my god, this guy is so beautiful. Like, I'm in fucking La La Land, okay? As I am per usual. This woman comes up to my face, is like right here, and she goes, oh, you think you're fucking better than everybody else? Wow, I can't even believe, like, literally, I'm seeing this woman in my face and telling me, I will always be fucking better than you. You're fucking nobody. Like, literally chewing my ass out, and I was like, whoa, I didn't know where this came from. I don't know why this woman hates me. Well, come to find out, her family, when my great-grandfather started farming silk, her family lived next to us, okay? And they tried to grow silk and they couldn't. And they were so upset. But what happened was my grandfather was like me but didn't tell anybody. He was psychic. So my grandfather knew to pick this land. He got to pick before this other family. And he knew to pick this land because it was going to be prosperous. So when he picked this land, of course, he grows silk. We become very successful. We grow so much silk that we give extra silk to the emperor or empress of the time. We literally have so much silk, we don't know what to do with it. We're just giving it to them. And then we start trading with other parts of the world. Like, our name is the reason why other parts of the world have our silk, okay? Well, this family that lived next door to us, not literally, because when we became this wealthy and well-known, we of course moved and had a bigger area, I guess. Like, I don't know, I'm being told like we had to move after a while. Well, my grandfather moved us. And so this other family was so, not really so envious. It wasn't the family, it was the daughter. It was the great-granddaughter. It was the one that was the same as me, okay? Same fucking age, everything. Like, we were basically born at the same fucking time. I'm not even joking. Like, we were born at the same time. Which is crazy because the clock just said 11:33. So I know we were born at the same time. So, this woman, who is literally born at the same time as me, is grown. And she comes up to me and is screaming in my face about how much she hates me, how much a fucking pile of shit I am, and blah, 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 like, blowing up on. Well, come to find out, this was the same woman that my husband was sleeping with. She had weaseled her way in with him because this is what happened. They were supposed to get married because his family found out that we were interested, his family forced him to come marry me. So she was the bitch on the side, okay? She was the hoe. She was the fucking mistress. Like, that's what you is. So, this woman is infuriated, fucking hates me, loathes. Like, her skin is turning red because she hates me so much, okay? She's married to this man, and this man is very hardworking, very loving, tries to give her the world, okay? Tries to give her the world so fucking much, like, he finds out how jealous and envious and how bad she wants to be like this great thing. He goes out and buys her all this stuff. He spends every fucking penny he can on this woman just to love her, and she's out here fucking sleeping around. Okay? Okay. This is my first life. So when I end that life, and I passed from old age, okay? It was old age, 333. It was old age. When I pass, I'm on the other side and I'm telling the celestial, I'm telling the eternal. That's what I want to call it, is the eternal. That's it. I'm telling the eternal, okay, I don't understand why this happened. Because she wasn't the only one that was angry with me. So many people felt this way about me and I didn't understand. So I went to the other side and I said, teach me through suffering, because they're suffering and I don't understand it. So after this time, after 405 or 500 BCE, I then travel to the Incan times, okay? I am now an Incan child, of course a child, but like I was born with a twin. This twin, because at the time they believed that if a mother had multiple children, she was blessed but required to send one back to the underworld for them to have their child. Damn, 444, what the hell? So, I don't know if I'm a boy or a girl. I feel like I'm a girl still, but he's a boy. I have a brother, but I'm a twin. So they kept me because I was fertile, okay? I don't know how else to put that, but because I could create life, pretty much, they kept me because I was more essential than my brother, okay? Fuck. This hurts so much. Like, ugh, it bugs the crap out of me. So we were still babies, and they sacrificed my twin brother. When they sacrificed him, I remember going my entire fucking life feeling like I was so alone and not understanding. Like, I remember that pain of being alone because I grew inside of a woman with another body the entire time, and then I came here and I lost him the second I got my first breath. Like, what the fuck, dude? That life, I'm not gonna lie, is very short. That one's maybe 13 years. But then I'm on the other side and I say, okay, that wasn't it. There has to be something else. So I go back to the Incan times, and when I'm there, I'm now a priest, but I'm a man, okay? Because I've done 2 lives where I'm a female, and I'm like, we gotta try something different. So I'm a male this time. I become a priest, but I'm also psychic. I'm also connected, okay? When I'm connected, before I become a priest, before I start practicing, I'm hearing the eternal. I am hearing the above, okay? I'm hearing it so clearly that I know I have to become a priest. When I become a priest, I stop hearing it. When I become a priest, I stop hearing the eternal. I stop hearing it altogether because at this time, I'm harming people. I'm sacrificing people. I'm believing that killing individuals is going to bring me closer to the above. I live full life. That life ends. Now, I'm in the afterlife and I said, okay, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. I'm studying. Do you see what's happening? I'm studying because I want to be with the eternal all the time. So to be with them all the time, you have to be good like them. Okay? And I know that's hard to understand, but you have to be like them. If you can't understand how to be like them, you don't get to be like them. So I said, okay, send me back. We're doing something new. I go to Mexico now. And now I'm an Aztec. And while I'm an Aztec, again, I'm a male and I'm a priest. And again, I'm hearing them up until I become a priest. I'm hearing them so fucking strongly that I know this is the way to go. But I become a priest and they get quiet. They don't talk to me anymore. But now, in this time, As an Aztec, I'm sacrificing and giving blood, because blood is supposed to be life. That is supposed to be everything. Blood and gold is life. That's it. But I still can't hear them anymore. And I'm like, what is going on? So I end that life. After this, I become an indigenous woman in America. I cannot tell you what tribe. I cannot tell you exactly where I was, but I know I was in Colorado because I remember chasing buffalo in the wintertime. Not chasing, but I remember my tribe would migrate to different areas because of the buffalo. I remember this. So this life is the most significant life because it's when I required myself to remember now all of the stuff that I've gone through. Okay. This was the most important life for me because it gave me all of the answers connected. Everything was connected in a living form, okay? Because the other times, yes, I was already passed on and I had already remembered, but I was in the other side. I was on the celestial side, I'm not gonna lie. So it didn't count. You have to learn these lessons when you're alive. Because if you don't, what are you doing? You can be on the other side, but you'll never be an eternal or a celestial if you don't go through human life. So, this time, I'm an indigenous woman. The same mother that I had in China is the same mother that I have here. But this time, she's fucking mean. She's a horrible fucking woman. I'm still connected, okay? I'm still psychic. But now, this is how my family works. My mother is a witch. Like, not even a good witch. Like, a dick of a witch, okay? She's a bitch. And I hate using that fucking word when it's not a word of endearment. Because I love the word bitch. But she's a bitch, okay? And I have a brother who's 4 years older than me. My father, when I recollect, like when I'm conscious, when I make myself aware, my father has already passed. And so it's just my mother and my brother and I. And my mother couldn't handle me because I was psychic and she couldn't handle the way I was. Well, she would tell my brother, because he was older than me, that he needed to teach me a lesson. He needed to teach me how to behave. He needed to teach me how to be a woman. He needed to teach me how to be silent, okay? So this brother of mine was also the husband that I had in China. So here, listen to this. Now the tables have turned. Now instead of listening to me, now I have a brother who harms me, and literally, he's so mean to me, dude. Like, beats the crap out of me on a regular basis because of my mother. I hope this video doesn't get taken down, but literally harms the crap out of me, okay? Because my mother told him that's how you teach a woman how to behave. So in this life, the same woman is now my mother is crueler than fuck because she can't stand that my father, who passed, loved me. He only married her because he was required, and she was like, oh, I want you to love me, and he never loved her. But then when she gave him a daughter, I was everything to this man. So when that man passed, she took all of her aggression out on me. She fucking took everything out on me. So I'm probably, I don't know how, honestly, I don't know how old I was. I can't even tell you. But I'm like marrying age, okay? But I'm not married. My brother is, though. Actually, it's before I'm marrying age. So my brother's marrying age. He gets married to this woman, and which is strange. They had to marry a girl who was younger than me. Actually, I know what happened. Hold on. I got married. So he was older, and they never had a woman for him. And so I was married off, and when I got married, they realized I was infertile. I couldn't have children. So they took me from my husband and said I wasn't good enough for a husband, and they married him off to somebody else. Okay? I don't know who the fuck this guy was. But I wasn't good enough to have him as a husband. So, whatevs. So, my brother gets married to this woman that's younger than me. And so, he's 4 years older than me. And she's 2 years younger than me. So, a total of fucking 6 years between the two of them. So, now, we all live in the same fucking place together. All together. He's beating the crap out of her. And the thing with these assaults is we're taught that we need to be silent because if anybody knows what's going on, they're going to disown us because we're bad women. This is what we're being taught by our mother, okay? Is we're going to be bad women if anybody knows that we're getting beat because they'll realize that we're getting hurt for a reason. Not realizing that it was actually the other way around. If the tribe heard that we were getting assaulted and hurt like this, they would have disowned this family. So, this goes on for years, okay? My brother assaults my sister-in-law, gets her pregnant. The first child is a boy. Or no, I'm sorry, is a girl. He's so upset because it's a girl that he waits till she's healed, but he starts assaulting her. He starts hurting her. And immediately, the second the girl's born, he takes the girl away from her and gives the child to me and says, she's not allowed to raise the child. You have to raise the child. And I'm just like, what the hell? So I'm raising these children, okay? This child. Well, again, she gets pregnant. And I have to be real. Every time it's not consensual. I fucking know that. But they get another child. The second one is a girl. He does the same thing. Takes the child away. I have to raise the child. They don't have mom and dad. They have auntie. That's all they have. They have fucking auntie. That's it. So, this time is the third time getting pregnant. This baby that's born is a boy. The same baby, okay, the same soul that was with me in Peru when I was an Inca that was sacrificed is again the same baby as an indigenous child. But this time, it was a stillbirth. The child was too afraid to come because he was harmed the first time. So he was too afraid to come this time. I have to tell you that right now. Like, that's how it works. Regardless of how you feel, we'll get to that. So, this child does not make it. When I tell you how enraged my brother was, he took it out on his wife the second that baby passed. When he realized the baby was no longer here with us, he harmed this woman till he ended her life. He straight up harmed her till he ended her life. And it sucks because I'm just like, what the fuck, dude? I'm watching all this happen, okay? These are the things that I'm remembering. I feel them in my body. Like, I can feel myself hurting. So, now she is passed on. And because she's passed on, now his aggression is back to me, okay? Everything that he's angry about, he fucking takes it out on me. So, now that he's taking it out on me, I get to this point where I just can't take it anymore. And I'm so angry. I remember looking into the river and telling myself, I will never let myself go through this again. The worst fucking part is, in that moment, I'm looking myself in the mirror and I'm telling, well, it's not a mirror, but it's the water. I'm telling myself, you're going to remember this. And I ended my life in that one. Like, right there. I watched myself do it. And I'm like, why? Because I was being harmed the way that I was. Because they were putting me through it. So, after I had passed on to the other side, I am now observing from above, okay? I'm watching what's happening, which is interesting because I've never experienced that in any of my lives, but this one I do. And I think I intentionally put myself there. So I'm watching, and when the tribe finds me, I'm thinking it's not like the chief, but I want to say it's his son or grandson. Somebody related to the chief finds me, okay? They find me by the water, and they find me by the water. When they go and take me to the tribe, I'm not saying they do an autopsy, but they were cleaning me. They were getting me ready for burial because they didn't understand why I did this. Because I was a good person. Like, they didn't understand. Normally, they'd have been like, I'm not going to say they would have, but normally, if you would have harmed yourself in a selfish way, they wouldn't have given you a proper burial. But they knew that I wasn't that way. I wasn't a wreck, okay? Even though they were like, what the fuck? Why did she do this? They knew I wasn't like this person, okay? That they're now seeing. They start cleaning me up and cleansing my spirit and freeing my soul. And they're realizing all the broken bones. They're seeing all the bruises. They're seeing everything that ever happened to me on my body. All the assault on my body from my family. And in that moment, when they realized what happened, they disowned my family and kicked them out of the tribe. And I don't know what happened to them after that. Fuck if I know. So that life is over. So now I decided after this, I'm tired of suffering. I'm fucking tired of suffering. It's not working. We got to do something else. Now I come back and I'm living in the Wild West. Like, Wild West, Wild West. I'm definitely feeling Nevada. Definitely feeling Nevada. Well, while I'm here, I am a adult entertainer working at a saloon. Y'all get it. So while I'm there, I'm having the time of my life. And it's not like I went there because I didn't have any options. I went there because I wanted to. My mother disowned me because I decided I wanted to be a adult entertainer. I don't know. It's just what I wanted to do in this life. Okay, apparently I just wanted to feel good, okay? Because I'd been so sad and suffering for so long in these other lives. All I wanted to do was understand what felt good. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. So while I'm here, I befriend this woman, and she is also an entertainer at the same saloon. Our bedrooms are literally across the hall from each other. Like, she's right there. Me and this woman, I'm very close to this woman. I believe that her and I are like family, okay? I didn't know this woman was secretly against me the whole time. She hated me. She wanted my life. She fucking loathed me, okay? And I don't understand why. But I didn't know this the whole fucking time, okay? Well, I'm in love with this fucking cowboy. I don't know who the fuck he was. I don't know if cowboy is even the proper term for that time. Anyways, he used to be a long-range rancher. I don't know what that means, but I'm saying long-range rancher because I just see him traveling from one end to another with cattle on a horse. That's what I fucking see him. So I'm imagining that's what it's called, is a long-range rancher. I don't fucking know. Doesn't make sense to me why he's traveling with cattle from one place to the other. I'm assuming somebody bought it. Anyways, he comes and goes, and I love him so much. Like, I'm infatuated with this boy. Like, let me tell you, I'm fucking crazy about him. Like, I'm convinced I'm gonna marry this man and he's gonna be mine for the rest of my life, okay? I'm probably like 23. This woman was always jealous and envious of me. Always wanted everything that I had, and I didn't understand why. And I'm not saying while I was alive that I understood. When I was passed on, I never understood. Okay? So, I am living my life, doing the best that I can, in love with this cowboy, okay? And he tells me forever, that he's going to take me away and he's gonna love me and la 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 la, all these fucking things, okay? Bitch, I was the fucking side chick. I had no idea. I was the fucking side chick. I had no idea. I genuinely thought this man loved me and he was gonna do whatever it took to be with me. I was a side hoe. So, we'll get to all of that later. This girl that lives across from me, she's like my sister, dude. And she is with this other guy, but she's not like in love. It's infatuation, okay? It's not love, it's infatuation. And he doesn't really want to stick around. He's like, yeah, I had a good time, now I'm on to the next. You know what I mean? Like, he was living that lifestyle. She intentionally got herself pregnant with his kid, which I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know if it was his kid. I don't even know if it genuinely was his kid. I haven't tapped into that yet. I don't want to know because I know who the child is. But she gets pregnant and now this other guy is going to stay, of course, but he works on the railroad, so he only stays for a certain amount of time and then he's got to go back to work. He can only take off a certain amount of time and then he's got to go back. You know what I mean? So I'm sitting here, So he comes and goes and sees her and he's always there with the child. And I'm always with this child, okay? Now that this child's born, the mom has nothing to do with the child unless the dad's here, okay? She has nothing to do with this child unless the dad's here. Like she doesn't even bother caring for the kid while the baby's growing up. I'm taking care of this child, okay? But nobody recognizes me as a caregiver, okay? And I'm fine with that. I'm just auntie. Again, I'm just auntie. So, I'm like crazy about this kid, okay? And I find out that this child, because we live in a saloon, okay? We live in a saloon. This child gets harmed by an adult. I lose my fucking shit, okay? I am losing money because I'm caring for this child, but at some point I had to make money, and the mother couldn't even take care of her kid, and that's when the child got assaulted. Yep, that's when the child got assaulted. Like, when mom was working, I'd be like, hey, come be in my room, let's, you know what I mean? Like, don't worry about that, because I didn't want the child to see that, because it's a child. It's not, I grew up in a good home to know that that wasn't acceptable, okay? That wasn't okay. I grew up in a decent enough home at the time to know that wasn't okay. So I'm very upset with this woman, because now that I know that this child's been harmed, I threaten her. I tell her, I'm going to tell the baby's dad. Like, and the baby's not a baby. The baby's like 5. No, I think the baby's older. I want to say 10 to 14, okay? I'm raising this child for a good portion of time. Well, maybe younger. Maybe 10. 8, 10, that feels better. I think 10. I'm really, strongly pulling to 10. I think 10. So, in this time, I'm fucking pissed at her, and I tell her I'm going to tell the baby's daddy. Well, she is panicking, okay? When I tell you things worked out in this woman's evil favor, I can't even tell you that. I can't even explain to you how much this evil favor worked out. This child, because of the assault, ends up dying. Ends up getting sick and dying, okay, because of what happened. Right before the father shows up, days before father shows up back into town to see the baby. So it worked out. It literally worked out for this woman, but I was heartbroken. I was fucking distraught that this child that I loved with everything in my life that wasn't mine was now gone. This woman didn't even bat an eye. Didn't even fucking faze her that this child had died. And the dad is now so furious with this woman. Of course, who wouldn't be if their child passed? And he tells her, I will never let you touch me again. You will never bear one of my children. It's crazy how much that statement alone has connected itself to current day, okay? I'm gonna say that right now. So while I'm here, I'm like waiting for this man to come back and come get me, because now my child, this child that I love, it's my child, has passed on. And the father of this child doesn't want anything to do with me because he just sees me as another saloon girl, okay? He's so lost now that his kid's gone that he doesn't see me. And this woman knew that if I would have told the father what was going on, the father and I would have ran off together and we would have been in love. Like, I'm gonna tell you how much this bitch knew. Like, she fucking knew, okay? She fucking knew. While this is going on, I'm waiting for this man to come, pick me up, and sweep me off my feet, and we're gonna run away together. Can I tell you, this man never comes get me? This man never comes to get me. I am so physically distraught and so fucking lost in my life because the man that I was in love with never came for me. And the child that I always wanted never stayed. Like, literally left. So I decided it was time to leave too. I ended my life again. In this one, I was done. This was different circumstances, but I finished it. That was my last life until this one. Well, and I'm sure there's other ones in between because I'm feeling like, I know I was a Viking. I know I lived in that era. Like, without a doubt, I know I lived in that era. But I'm just like, okay, so all of these significant people that I know in these lives are in this life that I have right now. And I've come to the conclusion that I don't know. I get done telling my story of all my lives, and I feel like if I give you too much, somebody's brain's gonna explode. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Because all of these people, all these significant people that I had in all of these lives are alive with me now. When I was in China, both of those people are alive. When I was in Incan the first time, those people are alive. Like my mother, my brother, the priestess that fucking sacrificed us, or I think she was a priest. When they were a priest, that one's in this life too. Like, the only one that didn't have anybody with me was when I returned to be an Incan person. Literally, like, I'm telling you, I know all of these people are alive with me. And the crazy part is seeing how the way they behave in this life, they're basically mirroring what they did and how they behaved back then. I want people to understand how important it is to know our history. And it's crazy because, yeah, we've literally seen or written history and whatever, but it is so important for us to see our own history, because I don't think of my lineage as my family, as the one I was born into. No, my lineage is literally where I was born, where I came from. It's every time I put a spot into this history. That's my lineage. I don't give a fuck about anybody else. Where have I been? Where the fuck have you been? Like, I know it's so hard to comprehend, but I'm like, this is the history that we need to figure out so we stop repeating it. Because we can always read about history. We can always see all these things, but if we don't see our own, we can't stop it. We can't fucking stop it. So we're allowing these traumas, these horrible fucking things to come to us every single time. And in this lifetime, this is the one we get to say, stop. This is the one where we have to be so conscious that we understand what we don't deserve. I don't understand. I don't know. There are so many times when I'm understanding my own history that I'm just like, what the fuck with people? Okay? I have to tell you, the woman that hated me in China, the woman that was like, I will always be better than you, was the saloon girl back in the Wild West. Now, this fucking witch is in my life again, causing me mayhem, attempting to cause me mayhem. But this time, she's closer. This time, it's my husband's sister-in-law. Weaseling her way. Like, I'm telling you, the amount of time history will repeat itself in your own cycle, poof, out of this fucking world. Like, it's insane, because we always say, oh, history repeats itself. Are we learning anything? Because I am this time. Oh no, I will not forget. I will not allow these souls that have tormented me in my previous lives torment me anymore. I'm at the point where I've cut people cold because I'm sick and tired of being treated like this. Do you ever wake up, 4444, holy shit, my phone just had 4 4s. Do you ever wake up and you're just like, why do I allow this to happen? And you're so fucking tired and you don't understand. It's because you have lived it already. This isn't your first time, bro. This is like the 8th fucking time you've been here, but you keep letting yourself do it. You gotta wake up. You gotta fucking wake up. I know that's a concept that's so fucking weird, but it's like, how do you wake up? You just tell yourself, I'm gonna wake up today. And you know what? It might not happen that second, but you're gonna keep telling yourself, I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna wake up and I'm gonna figure out where I've been. If you need a fucking tarot reading, if you need a goddamn fucking something, the other side has more answers than anybody else has. Nobody can tell you about yourself. Reincarnation is one of those things that it's like, why were we given this gift to see? So we can learn who the fuck we were. I went through life so many fucking times just trying to figure out how to be with the eternal, and I finally figured out we need to leave each other alone. Like, what the fuck, bro? It has taken me so long. I literally feel like I'm 3,000 years old because I'm so fucking tired. I feel like I'm an old fucking soul. Like, I know how old my soul is. I'm tired. I didn't come here to suffer. I didn't come here to be tortured by people anymore. Because they already fucking tortured me in the last lives. And that's not fair to me, and that's not fair to my fucking soul. It's not fair to the soul. Fuck 'em, bro. Like, I know it's so hard to understand why it's essential to cut people off. Because trust me, I've cut more people off than I know what to do with. Like, I've cut so many people off. I'm jaded. Bitch, if you don't serve me, I'm out. And it's not that you need to give me something. It's, what do you bring to the fucking table, though? Like, literally, what the fuck do you bring to the table? If you're not here for growth on yourself, if you're not here to be a better person, I don't want none. You know what I say to myself every fucking day when I wake up? I'm gonna be better today than I was yesterday. Why? Because that is so fucking important, because that is the only way that we can make a change. Because if you're open to being better than you were yesterday, there's no limit that you can stop at. Like, there's nothing in this world that will stop you when you realize you just gotta be better. There's no ego involved either. It's love. It's learning to grow with yourself. Like, it's so fucking important to be able to do these things that it's just like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we're walking around as though life has no meaning currently. People are walking around like zombies. They feel like empty vessels because nobody is looking. Nobody needs you to be religious. Nobody needs you to go to church. Nobody needs any of that shit. But when was the last time you sat with yourself and asked why it hurts? That's what's important. When was the last time you asked yourself, am I on my best behavior? Because if you're out here acting a fool, I promise you, your bitch ass is coming back. I've been given the option. I don't have to. I literally don't have to. But I couldn't imagine leaving my people behind. Like, I know that's still human in me, but I know that and I feel it so heavy in my soul. There are certain people, if they call me to life, I will come with them. But I'm given the choice because I'm learning, because I'm listening, because I'm not afraid anymore to admit there is something so much bigger than me. There is something so much bigger than us. It is. Sometimes I'm sitting here speaking and I'm just like, where are you going with all this, dude? I don't know. I have no fucking idea. I just know it's one of those things that it's important that you know. Knowing your history is so important for yourself. It's so important for yourself to grow. It is so important for yourself. That's how we learn how to remove ourselves from situations that no longer serve us. We remove ourselves from the people that hurt us. Because let me tell you, if somebody's hurting you in this life, baby, they already hurt you in the other one. Without a fucking doubt. The reason they're doing it again in this life is because it's second nature for them. They don't know anything else but to be cruel to you because they've already done it and they know they can get away with it. This life is so important to put them in their place because they were cruel to you. And you know what? They're not going to understand why, and that's okay. That's okay. They don't have to understand why. Only you do. That's it. Only you do. They don't get it. Fuck them. I think I'm up to like 6 people now that I've gotten rid of. Not that I'm proud of it, but you gotta do what's good for you. You have to do what's good for you. I hope you have a good day. I hope my fucking rant did something. I love you. Have a wonderful day.